Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Ryan here from The Dealer Geek, and in this video, I'm gonna give you my 3 reasons why I am 99% sure your lease on your 2022 Silverado Sierra is gonna be more than your previous lease.
I just realized my last 2 videos, I've been wearing this exact same shirt. I do promise I have other shirts. It's just every time I go to shoot a YouTube, I seem to be wearing pink. Let's get back to the topic. So you're currently driving a GMC Sierra or a Silverado. Your lease is coming due the fall of 2021, maybe earlier into 2022, and you want to know if you can expect to have the same payment. Short answer is no. In 2019, when the new style truck came out, they had some absolutely phenomenal deals on Silverado and Sierra. A lot of them were 2-year leases, and there's a couple things that were going for the truck at the time. There was a huge supply, so you're able to negotiate a pretty good deal with your dealership. You may have received a $2,000 or $3,000 discount on the truck. Plus, there would have been a couple $1,000s in credits. On top of that, they had very, very high residuals. That's the buyback of the vehicle. The way that the lease is calculated is they take MSRP less the dealer discount, which is going to vary from dealer to dealer, minus any credits, minus a trade-in or maybe cash down, that kind of thing, and then your residual. So if the residual is really high and then you're able to negotiate a really good deal, you're making payments on this small amount. We have custom Trail Boss leases that were like, $500 a month with no money down, which seems crazy that was only 24 months ago. So the 3 reasons that you can expect to pay more on your GM lease, and I'm pretty sure this is going to go for Ford. It's going to go for essentially all vehicles. The price of vehicles is unfortunately going up. Number 1 is going to be supply. So as I said, in 2019, there was a ton of these new style trucks. Dealers, I wouldn't say were giving them away, but they had to fight pretty hard to get the sales and move that inventory. Fast forward to now, and the truck situation is the worst that it's ever been. There's dealers right now in Ontario that do not have 1 truck on the lot. And there's a big demand for these vehicles. So a lot of customers are actually buying trucks, what they call upstream, which is sight unseen. They're basically buying a piece of paper or they're ordering trucks. With low supply, you can expect to pay you can expect to pay the full MSRP on trucks. I don't know of any dealers that are discounting these trucks. If they are, it's only going to be a few $100s. So right away versus the old lease, there isn't going to be a dealer discount. The manufacturer, being GM, also isn't adding any incentives to the trucks. So there's not going to be any sizable credits. Before there may have been, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 in credits on top of the dealer discount. So now you're paying full price for the truck, less, 0 incentives basically. The residuals are still high, so that's a good thing we have going for us. But the price of the vehicle is not going to be what it was a couple years ago. Number 2 is going to be incentives. I feel like I just talked about that in number 1, but incentives are like from the manufacturers. So maybe it's a stackable credit, maybe it's lease cash, maybe it's a GM Visa bonus, maybe it is, there's lots of different programs, maybe like a truck loyalty bonus. The incentives, don't take this as like, the law or the final fact on this matter, but from my understanding, there is not going to be any incentives in the next few months of any significance. They don't have the vehicles, people are buying them, so why are they going to put incentives on them? Number 3, which actually number 3 could turn out to be a good thing. This is going to be, there's a lot of speculation on this. So number 1 was the supply. We know the supply is low, so you're going to pay close to full list price, probably list price for the truck. Number 2 was the incentives. So there are no incentives. So the price of the vehicle is going to be much higher than it was a few years ago. But if you're currently driving a truck, the equity in your current lease could be that X factor. If there's equity in the truck, meaning that your buyout maybe is $40,000 and the dealer's giving you 44. Now you got $4,000 towards that lease. That could offset the higher price and the incentives. It's unknown what the price of these trucks are going to be. We've seen all kinds of fluctuations, and it seems like every week the trade-in values are going up or down. So we can only hope that the value of the truck stays strong. I would assume as the supply shrinkens, we're going to be able to ask a pretty penny for these used vehicles. And in all reality, if you're in Ontario and you're selling your truck to a dealership, the odds are they're selling it to the US. You may or may not agree with that. That's where the truck's going, and that's how they're able to get you these big dollars. So, how high could your payment go? I'm gonna just do some really quick math and show you why the lack of discount and the lack of incentives can make a big impact on a lease payment. So the example that I used was, let's say that you pay $3,000 more for your truck than you did 2 years ago. So before you got a $3,000 discount, this time you're not getting any discount. If it's a 2-year lease, we take $3,000, and you can do the math if you don't believe me. You can do $3,000, divide it by 24 payments, and that's gonna be a $125 difference. If you're paying $500 a month now, right away your payment's going up over $600. I've seen some lease payments go from $500 to $700 on essentially the exact same vehicle. So here's another question. Should you lease or should you buy? Hey, if my lease payment's going up, should I just finance it? That's an option. It's really personal preference, and every situation's different. One thing I would consider though is if you buy a truck, if you need to get a truck, and you pay full price and you don't get a lot of credits on it, and then you finance it over a long term, if you're the type of customer that likes to flip their vehicle every 2 or 3 years, this could be problematic if the market dips. And again, I don't have a crystal ball and I don't know what's going to happen. I'm a huge fan of leasing. I lease my wife's vehicle. I tell all my friends and family that leasing is the way to go for a lot of people. So I think if your lease is coming due and you can land the right truck, if you're going to pay $100 more, maybe $150 more, I think you might just have to suck it up for a couple of years, and hopefully the next lease we're back into a different spot. Am I crazy? Am I not crazy? I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments. Again, this is me just sharing some thoughts. I don't have any information. GM doesn't give me any insider info. I'm just telling you what I think based on my experience in the dealership. I'd love to hear in the comments if you have a lease coming due and you've already started to talk to your dealer. Let me know if you're hearing the same thing. Are your payments going up? Are they staying the same? I would love to hear it. Again, Ryan from the Dealer Geek. Please subscribe to the channel if you like this kind of content. I'd love to keep making it for you guys.